Hey y'all, I think I'm on. So yesterday I didn't get to come on. I was supposed to come on yesterday and I didn't get to, so I am here today. And the rain won't let me be great because I'm parked in front of Sprouts, which is a health food store, and because of the subject matter that I'm talking about today, I wanted to take you guys into Sprouts and teach you some of the things I've learned when it comes to eating. Hi, Tavia. And let me say, y'all done what the young people say now, gas me up. Y'all done gave me so many compliments about this hair of mine that I was like, maybe I'm gonna keep it for a while. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'll keep it going. But what I am excited, see, this is the thing about doing something outside. Do you hear the sirens? Nothing wants me to, you said I can't, Tavia. You know, my kids teach me all this stuff. Gas me up. But anyway, all this noise in the background, I was trying to wait for the rain to calm down so you won't hear all the raindrops and all that, but I think we'll be good. So once the rain stops, we'll probably go inside of the store. So let me just start with the content. But first, let me say I am excited and glad that my friend Margaret and I chose to do this, because one thing I've always wanted when I became a life coach years ago, and even as a minister, is to help people walk in freedom, help them walk into their truth. And so I already had a friend of mine named Marilyn White who did a video of her own this morning, and I was so super proud of her. She talked about fear and how this was even fearful for her to speak in front of an audience, even though it's she's speaking into a camera, but it was a fear of hers that she wanted to conquer. So she did her first video, and then she's going to do another one. You need some life coaches, Tavia? I got you. So she's going to do another one. And I was like, wow, I love what it is right now, but I also love the possibilities of what it can turn into. If we can get a whole bunch of people just pouring out, Chastity, hey girl, happy birthday. I was going to post on your page, but now that you're on here, happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed to the fullest. If we can get a whole bunch of people to post videos, and maybe videos are not your thing, and that's okay, because it's not for everybody. And sometimes this is a fearful thing for people, like she said for herself. So maybe you can start writing posts about something that scares you, about your truth, something you want to reveal, because as we keep it inside, like I said in the last video, I believe the enemy holds it over our head and puts us in that shame, and sometimes it can put us in depression. And it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it, because once we reveal our truth, then other people feel comfortable to reveal the truth. And we're all taking off that mask that we have on social media, because social media, it's so many fake lives on there. It's like, is this a social media person I'm meeting, or is this the real person I'm meeting? Because we show what we want to show, but we don't show our everyday life, when our kids are getting on our nerve, when our husband's getting on our nerve, when we want to just buy a plane ticket to run away for a day or a weekend. We don't show those things, but we show our cute family pics and all this stuff, which is, of course, it makes sense, because you always want people to feel good, and you're like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. But at the same time, when you tell me that your family is driving you crazy, then I don't feel so bad, because my family is driving me crazy. So anyway, that's what I want. I want it. I think this can be a whole movement at some point of just revealing our truth, no longer succumbing to Facebook making us, not just Facebook, but social media making us put these profiles up with this perfect life that is not true. So if we can walk in the truth, I believe that it'll help other people. So there goes that. I think it's a great thing. I am excited. If any of you guys do any videos with your see me, sorry, my friend friend Margaret, who I'm doing this with, was trying to FaceTime me. Sorry. Anyway, if you guys do any videos or post about what's going on with you, please tag me, because I would love to see it, and I can post it on my page as well. I'm working on creating a hashtag that we all can have, so this can spread like wildfire. I think this will be so awesome. So anyway, what I'm talking about in the video today is health, because this is a part of my journey. as well. This is my truth. Last year, I had gained so much weight. Like I said, I've been stressing and things like that. And so I've been eating and all that stuff. I'm a sweets person. I love sweets. I love sugar, but sugar doesn't love me. Sugar doesn't love us, to tell you the truth. So anyway, I gained weight. And last year, my doctor told me that I was, I think, 210. I never thought I would be over 200 pounds, ever. When I was younger, I was about 110, 115-ish, of course, before kids. And after kids, went to about 120, went back down to about 115. So I've always been a small, petite person. The most weight I've gained before this was when I was pregnant with my first daughter, and I was about 189 with her. I went from 110 to 189. So I was eating like crazy, girl. Everything I can find, I was eating. And so this time, I'm not pregnant, so I have no excuse. Are y'all still there? Now my husband is trying to call me. I'm telling you, don't nobody want us to be great today. Okay. So, anyway, like I said, we're talking about health. And the crazy thing is, when I thought about this, of course, it just rang in my head, and I was just singing like, let's talk about health, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things. I was jamming. But anyway, what I was saying is, now it's going to be in my head all day. What I was saying is, so I'm facing the doctor. She's looking at me and she's like, you're 210. And I'm like, shut up. And so that was a big wake up call for me. So I had to start working on myself, especially for leaders in any capacity. You're a mom, you're a wife, you may be a leader at work, you may be a minister, you may be a life coach. Just any type of leadership, I think it's important to lead well in every area you can. And so I don't want to lead people in not having self-control, not having discipline. And so that's why this was also important to me, and just wanted to be around for my kids and my grandkids and all that, because I want them to hear my voice. I want them to know about my faith. I want to be able to teach them. I want to be here to do that. So I decided to do something. So I started a vegan lifestyle, and that was going good. But at the beginning, I didn't really know what I should be eating, what was well to eat. So I was still kind of eating junk box stuff and fake meat and all this stuff. And so that wasn't so good. And then I started with intermittent fasting, and I'll break that down to you. But before I tell you that, what I've been watching a lot of documentaries. I love documentaries, like I said in my last video. And what I learned is that we are the most at risk for heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity. And when I say we, I mean African Americans. So we are dying like crazy. And I just watched a documentary called Feel Rich by hip hop artists coming together. So it was Common on there. They were talking about all the hip hop artists that died because of diabetes, stroke, all kinds of heart disease, and it's because of the food we eat. So they talked about Big Pun, they talked about Heavy D, they talked about the history of being in the studio and eating food because you're smoking and now you're hungry, and so you're eating Funyuns and drinking grape soda and just doing all this. And so they were saying that now people are waking up, and a lot of hip-hop artists and other people are waking up, and they're starting to eat better. We're starting to learn our bodies. We're starting to know what's good for ourselves by trying it and knowing what our body is telling us, which is an awareness that's going on. And it's great because when I looked at the ages of these people dying, they're around my age. They were 40, 44, in their 30s. And I was like, wow, losing their lives over food. And my thing is, are we going to let something as small as food literally control our lives? Like, am I really going to let a pack of Doritos control me enough to where I can't say no? That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy. And so I was like, no, we got to do something. So it has to start with me. And like you, it has to start with you. And then we can teach others as we go. But we have to do something because we're not. And then not only us, our children. Hi, Greg, my brother. Love you. Hi, Lola. Hi, Cynthia. Sorry, I'm missing people as they're coming in. But our kids are getting diagnosed with adult diseases, heart diseases, and they're being put on machines to breathe and all this stuff because of what we're feeding them. Now, I know people say eating healthy is expensive, but not really. When I go to the health food store and I focus on fruits and vegetables, it's not as expensive as when I buy meat or when I buy a whole bunch of box stuff. So that's when you get to the expense. So we love Beyond Burgers. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but it's a vegan-based burger. It's so good. We love it. And the thing about it, like when you buy a lot of that, oh, thanks, Lola. When you buy a lot of that, that's expensive. Yes, it is. But if you're buying celery for a whole pack of celery for 79 cents, 50 cents, and then you're buying a couple of tomatoes at 25 cents each, things like that, it's not that expensive. Even my almond milk is $2.99. It really isn't that expensive. And there's so many ways you can learn how to cook to make things taste good. Shout out to Tabitha Brown. She has done an amazing job with this vegan community and teaching people how to cook things that taste good. As a matter of fact, last night, my husband and I had a vegan cheesy grits. You know how you have shrimp and grits, cheesy shrimp and grits? So instead we use vegan sausage and we cut it up with bell peppers and onions, and we put the vegan cheese on top of the grits, and inside the grits we use vegetable broth. It was so good, and we seasoned it with garlic powder, and that just tastes so. That's the stuff that you can do. But anyway, there's a lot of good resources out there. So do your research, guys. What else did I have for you? So What the Health, of course, that's what started my journey. And What the Health taught me was the consumerism and the marketing tool that people use for the way we eat. And so a lot of times we think things are good for us just because it says gluten-free or low fat or low sodium and all this stuff. But you can't go by that. You have to read the whole label, because it may be low fat, but it may be high in sodium. It may be gluten-free, but it may be high in carbs, which turns into sugar. So you have to be able to read the whole label. And that's why I want to take you guys into the store. And I was waiting for the rain to go down so I can show you how to read labels. I might do it another day and I might do it today. Depends on how long this goes. So that's the kind of stuff you want to look at. You want to look at the whole label and see everything that's in it. That's why it's good to just cook the food yourself, so you know everything that goes in it. So I say watch What the Health. I would say that on Netflix. Also, I watched a documentary this weekend on on obesity, and they cut this person open. Not everybody can stomach that, so I wouldn't say, I'm not even going to say the name of it. If you want to inbox me, but they cut this person in and they start working on taking out the organs because they had passed away. And so they want to use their body for science and to show how things work and things like that. So they cut it open. And when you see the fat, it was like, oh, and it was greasy and it looked like butter. And you see the fat. And so they took away the fat and showed us how the fat was covering the organs. So she had fat all over. It was around her heart, and she had a heart attack. So she had it around her heart. She had it over her kidneys, over her liver. And these are things that really need to function well. And so when I saw the inside of that, I'm thinking, is that what I look like in the inside? I'm like, no, I don't even, and it's crazy because I was like, when I pass and somebody has to cut me open, I don't even want them to see that, which is weird because when I be thinking about that, I'll be with Jesus. But anyway, I was just like, that's no, I don't want that. It's gross. I don't want that. But it was a real thing that I needed to see to even help wake me up more. These are real. This is what's really going on inside our body, and this is what we're doing to our body. So that's what I learned from that. And then, like I said, the Feel Rich, the hip hop film, they taught me about community. So one of the things they had was they have a co-op where they grow vegetables and fruits and all this in LA. And so what they do is they let people come pick fresh fruits and vegetables, which is perfect because it's those people that are in the hood, in the community, that are dying of diabetes, dying of heart disease, dying of stroke. And so they are teaching them how to eat better, and they let them come pull the vegetables and fruit for free. They say, hey, if you need it, and the lady who created it, she said when she first started, people would say, put a fence around it. And she would say, why? And they said, because people are going to steal your food. And she was like, they don't have to steal. It's free. We keep growing it. That's what it's there for. And I was like, love, love, love it. Love that fact of community. And even a guy that works there, he said, yeah, I sent my son down. I said, go get me some carrots. And somebody would send somebody to my house and say, pick me up some garlic from their house. And I just thought that community was awesome and amazing. But we need so much more of that, because our people, African Americans, are dying rapidly because of food. And when you think of something so little as food, letting that kill us, kill our, people always say there's destinies and dreams and purpose in the grave. So that's what we're doing. We still have purpose on our life. We still have destiny on our life, and we don't have to die. These are the things that's preventable. But we're, hi Lestine, hi Nicole, but we're allowing something as small as food kill those dreams, kill the purpose, kill the destiny. Like I said, I have a voice, and I want to share my voice with the generation behind me. But how can I do that if I sit here and die of complication of diabetes, die of stroke? So I don't want that. And so the next thing, because I took notes, I'm in the car, y'all, so I took notes on a napkin. And I'm trying to make it work. My daughter was eating a bagel this morning off of this, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this for my notes. So anyway, benefits of what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm still eating this vegan lifestyle, and I'm also doing intermittent fasting. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Fasting has been going on for years, as we know in the Bible. Jesus talks about fasting. Many different religions also talk about the importance of fasting. Fasting is great for your health. Thanks, Leslie. And so I miss you, Leslie. We need a lunch date, a breakfast, something. I miss you. So fasting, I'm going to tell you the benefits of fasting. One is it repairs the cells by removing the waste. So the cells we have in here, which also helps with cancer, because the cancer cells. So that's what it does. So it repairs the cells by removing waste. It also helps you lose weight. It lowers your insulin level. So if you have diabetes, fasting, and this is why I started, because my sugar levels was high and I was pre-diabetic, and so I won't go into diabetes. I started with the intermittent fasting. It also reduces inflammation in your body, which when we eat breads and stuff like that, we get bloated and we have that inflammation, and then you end up dealing with yeast. And some women, I'm going to say this because I know I have women on here that watch, and we're all adults here, but not only yeast infections, but sometimes you get rashes under your breasts, and it's really itchy and all that. And it's not eczema all the time. Sometimes it's yeast, and it's just coming out from everywhere because of the sugar. I'm telling y'all, this is my stuff. I love this stuff. I don't know why I didn't go to medical school, seriously, because I love this stuff. And it's great for your heart, prevent cancer. Like I said, it's good for the brain. It helps you live longer. So what intermittent fasting is you have a fasting window and you have an eating window. So for me now, I usually start eating at first I started at 12, but now I start at 3. I start eating around 3 o'clock, and then I end at 9. And so the rest of the time I'm fasting. They have taught us breakfast is the most important meal of the day and all this stuff. And so it's not good to eat late and blah, blah, blah. That is not true. So like I said, watch What the Health, because there's a lot of marketing that goes into this stuff that is not true. You can fast. It is healthy. It is safe. Many people have done it. But if you do have something medically going on with you, ask your doctor, because I'm not a doctor. I wish, but I'm not a doctor. So, yeah, so that's the time that I eat. Is I start at 3 and I end about 9. So the rest of the time I'm fasting. The thing is, it gives your body a time of rest. Our body is not supposed to be working 24 hours a day. So usually you're fasting at night when you're asleep. So you can just go a little bit longer, and it gives your body a time to rest and reset and reboot. So that's what I'm doing. That's my everyday fasting. I do want to fast for a couple of days. I haven't worked myself up to that. So I am doing the intermittent fasting for now. And I think I'm going to do the intermittent fasting for life because it is easy. It's helping me lose weight. The vegan diet started me off, but the intermittent fasting has really helped me drop the weight. That has really been the main thing, was the intermittent fasting. So let's see what else I want to share before I leave you guys. So like I said, every day we're choosing life or death. That's the title of this. Every day when we're eating, we're choosing life or death. And not everyone has the same wake-up call at the same time. You know, many of us have watched these documentaries, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. We watched that and we continue to eat our Doritos. We continue to eat our cupcakes. And we were like, whatever. Not everybody has, but at some point you have to wake up. At some point you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm choosing life or death. I can give myself food that is living, or I can give myself food that is dead and won't give me life. And so we're choosing that every day. So be conscious of what you're eating. Think about it. Take time to pray, meditate, and before you eat, and just think about what you're doing, because it is important. It's important to you. It's important to our family. It's important to our community. And the more we get this word out, the better. We can live longer and we won't be dying so much. So I have to leave you with a word, because that's what I do, because I love Jesus. And so I have to leave you with a word. So Galatians 5:22-23 talks about the fruit of the Spirit. But I'm trying to read my handwriting. But fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That is a part of the fruit of the Spirit. Self-control. So if you have the Spirit of God in you, which if you are a believer, you do, you're sealed with the Spirit of God, then you have the ability for self-control, because He will worketh in you. So you have that ability for self-control. So you cannot say, I have to have that peach cobbler and ice cream. I have to have the French fries. I have to have a cheeseburger today. No, you have self-control. You have the ability for self-control because the Spirit of God lives in you. So that's what we have to hold on to. That's what we have to clinch on to. And God wants to be a part of every part of your life. He wants you can't just lay Him aside and say, okay, well, I'm going to put God aside right now and eat this burger or eat this pizza. No, He wants to be a part of everything. Me and my husband even pray about sex because He wants to be a part of that. He is a part of our bedroom activity. So I'm leaving y'all with that word before I go somewhere else. Let me leave y'all with that. You do have self-control. It is in you. It is in the Spirit of God, which is in you. Use it. Teach others. Start with yourself, and let's spread the word about our eating habits, because our people are dying like crazy, and they don't have to. They really don't have to, and we don't have to. So let's wake up and do better. Okay, so go ahead and check out the Netflix things I told you guys about. If you don't remember, just let me know and I will post it on my page. And if you feel bold enough to do a live, please tag me, or a post about what you're going through and you're bold enough to share it with the world so you can help somebody else, please tag me, because I want to be a part of it. Let's do better, y'all. It's 2018. Let's do it. Bye.